disappointing to see. This is damage from moving it around, but that's alright. End of the day, there's a whole lot of random holes drilled. This is dodgy. It's going to require quite the fix. First components installed on the bulkhead. You should be able to get the fuel hoses in, fit the floor. Okay, before I glue the floor down in place, I'm going to change the mounting system for the pedestal that the front seats are mounted on. When we first got the boat, we removed the port side seat pedestal. Two of the mounting screws had stripped away and machine bolts had been used in their place. The nuts were on the underside of the floor and dropped into the cavity below. If the floor had been glued down, they would have rolled around under there forever. While preparing the floor for paint, I filled the damaged holes with epoxy filler with the intention of using self-tappers again. But I've changed my mind and I've made a flange that is going to be glued and screwed to the underside so I can use M6 machine screws and not have to worry about self-tappers working loose and causing problems later. Well, the port side floor is out. It is the easiest time to fit the filler and breather hose to the fuel tank, which was also why I fitted the fuel lines and heat exchanger bracket in the engine room. Using the original broken contact points on the stringers as a guide, we are gluing the floor down with Fix-All high-tech adhesive. Tying that line up. Because the floor had been cut in half at some point, I made some 6mm angled plate for the front and rear, which I can now glue and screw and make it one again. To add an extra layer of strength and rigidity, I will make more heavy duty brackets that will tie in the floor with the bulkhead and the forward floor to make it all stronger. The front cabin lining needs to be fitted before the bulkhead. The hood lining is not too bad, but really dirty. A couple of passes with a carpet washer cleaner has it looking just about new again, so yeah. Unfortunately, the lower section is no longer fit for purpose. The centre underfloor storage is different, and we didn't put in the smuggling compartments on the sides. And on top of that, there is some nasty staining where water from a leak on the deck and rotting wood have melded and festered. Locally, there's nothing large enough available to cut a new one out of, and nobody has the material in white. All they have are greys and blacks and dark blues and red. So I'm going to save the sides and cut the floor out and replace it with a grey or a blue or something. Yeah. So yeah, our buddy Kevin put forward a good idea before we repaired the transom, and that was to glue some straight timber to the outside and make sure the transom stayed nice and straight. You know, it just sounded like a lot of effort. You know, should be right, mate. So my highly labour-intensive solution to fix the wavy transom is to clamp a nylon board, which I have, that is very flat, very rigid. I covered it with epoxy with 417 micro balloon filler. At the worst point, it was almost 1/8 of an inch thick. As the only part of the transom that matters, I'm just going to fill out and just blend it out. You'll never be able to see any of the rest of it to find out if it's straight or not, so yeah. The low frequency infrared light is an excellent way to cure epoxy when temperatures are quite low. You can see it's only 9 degrees Celsius, and the light it brings it up to 30 to 60 degrees Celsius and like almost instant once the light hits it, which is very handy when you've only got weekends and stuff to do stuff, so you can bake and get on with the job, start sanding. Well, I'm having a good time sanding. Steve has decided to have a look at the bolster that wraps around the perimeter of the cockpit and, around the faux screen. It's basically starboard screwed together to form an angle section that's covered with foam and vinyl to cover it. And it sort of covers where the deck mold finishes, and it's just a soft capping. The pleats are a cheap and easy way to hide the way it's fastened together. There's enough room to stretch them open and drive a screw in and then fold the vinyl back to hide it, so just going to keep it the same, and we're recovering it with this platinum carbon vinyl at this point. Maybe we'll change that to white or something else if it turns out to be too hot in the sun or something. We'll address that later. Hey, if you're still watching, thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and stay tuned for more progress. Thank you.